Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frontline Report channel. Please subscribe and like my videos so that you never miss the latest updates and breaking stories we bring from around the world. Today we are witnessing an extraordinary situation that has erupted inside Russia. In nearly every major city across the vast country, thousands upon thousands of people are flooding the streets, raising their voices in one unified demand: gas. This is not about politics in the abstract, not about hidden agendas or complex policies. This is about something very basic, something very human: the need for energy, warmth, and survival. What is happening in Russia right now is not only a protest but a full-scale social eruption that reveals deep cracks in the system, cracks that can no longer be ignored. The scale is shocking, the determination is clear, and the story is one that deserves to be unpacked from every possible angle. From the outside, the view is both powerful and dramatic. Russia's wide boulevards, its historic squares, and its industrial towns have all been transformed into arenas of civil action. People are pouring out in the cold, holding banners, chanting, and waving their arms in frustration. Streets that once saw only the regular flow of daily commuters and shoppers are now packed shoulder to shoulder with citizens who have had enough. The exterior image of these protests is one of unity and size. The sheer mass of bodies makes it impossible for the government to pretend that this is some minor outcry. Moscow is roaring, St. Petersburg is filled with voices, and smaller cities that often get ignored on the international stage are proving that they too are part of this rising wave. The outside impression is one of a country no longer contained, spilling into the open with unstoppable energy. Looking deeper inside the movement, we see a different but equally telling picture. These are not only activists or opposition figures leading the charge. Instead, families are stepping out, pensioners are joining, young students are refusing to stay silent, and factory workers are gathering with their colleagues to chant in unison. Inside these crowds, the atmosphere is electric but also tense. On the one hand, there is solidarity, a sense that people who never before stood shoulder to shoulder are now united by necessity. On the other hand, there is an undercurrent of fear, because everyone knows that the Russian state does not tolerate open defiance lightly. Yet the mood within the protests is resilient. Conversations among the people reveal that they are tired of promises and explanations. They want heat for their homes, they want gas that is affordable, and they want to live without fear of freezing or going without basic energy. That short but potent look into the heart of the protests reveals a nation that is refusing to keep quiet. The performance of this movement is nothing short of staggering. Normally, it takes weeks or months to coordinate national protests, but in this case, the spark has spread in days, if not hours. Social media channels have been flooded with calls to gather, with live streams showing the scale of demonstrations in one city inspiring others to rise in another. Within hours, protests that began in central Moscow had echoes in Ufa, Novosibirsk, and Vladivostok. People are marching in freezing weather, blocking intersections, overwhelming city centers, and refusing to be dispersed. In terms of performance, the coordination has been almost organic, a sign that when the demand is so simple and so universal, organization becomes less about politics and more about shared survival instincts. The chants, the banners, the boldness of the crowds, all of these form a performance that is dramatic, relentless, and impossible to suppress without brute force. The determination to be heard is clear, and the energy of these demonstrations spreads like fire. Safety, however, is an issue that cannot be ignored. Russian authorities are known for their heavy-handed responses to dissent, and already there are reports of riot police moving into the streets with batons and shields. Videos circulating online show clashes, with protesters being dragged away, beaten, or arrested. In response, the people are adopting their own methods of protection. Some wear helmets, others bring homemade shields, and volunteers carry basic first aid kits, ready to assist anyone injured in the chaos. Parents keep their children close, friends link arms to resist separation, and in some cities, improvised barricades have been set up to shield crowds from advancing forces. These safety measures are not perfect, but they are a powerful symbol of just how determined people are to keep going even when the risks are high. It demonstrates that the protesters are not naive, they know the danger but have calculated that the cause is worth it. Every march, every chant, and every confrontation carries potential danger, yet the crowds continue to grow rather than shrink. What makes these protests stand out are their unique selling points, the factors that distinguish them from countless other moments of dissent in Russian history. In the past, protests have often been tied to political parties, opposition leaders, or ideological struggles that divided society. But here, the demand is so basic, so universal, that it cuts across every line. It does not matter if someone supports or opposes the current government, it does not matter if they live in the wealth of Moscow or the remote villages of Siberia. Gas is needed by all, and the lack of affordable energy is a crisis that unites rather than divides. This universality makes the protests more powerful and more dangerous to the authorities. It is much harder to paint the demonstrators as extremists or foreign agents when the cause is something every citizen understands in their own household. This is the unique aspect, the USP of the movement. It is not political rhetoric but human necessity, and that makes it resonate on a deeper level across the entire nation. Every action, however, comes with a price, and this unfolding movement is no exception. For the people, the price is paid in bruises, in arrests, in fear of what might happen next. Many know that being caught at these protests could mean losing a job, facing heavy fines, or even serving time in prison. For the government, the price is measured in credibility and stability. A nation that erupts in anger at something as basic as gas access exposes the failures of leadership in the most public way possible. The price is also economic, as instability frightens investors and weakens the already strained economy. And for Russia's global image, the cost is mounting as the world watches footage of ordinary citizens being dragged off the streets for demanding basic survival needs. The price of these protests is heavy, and yet both sides seem willing to pay it, one in the name of survival, the other in the name of control. Drawing these threads together, the conclusion is stark but unavoidable. Russia today is facing one of the most significant domestic challenges in its recent history. The protests are vast and visible from the outside, deeply rooted and emotional on the inside, powerful in their performance, and risky in terms of safety. They are unique because they are not divided by ideology but united by necessity, and the price they carry is heavy for both citizens and the state. What this means for Russia's future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the voices demanding gas, demanding dignity, demanding survival, are not fading away quietly. The people have made themselves heard, and now the question is whether the government will listen or attempt to crush the movement through force. Whichever path is chosen will shape not only the winter ahead but the entire trajectory of Russia's political and social landscape. For the people on the streets, this is not just about today but about the future. They are sending a message to their leaders and to the world: basic needs cannot be ignored, survival cannot be compromised, and when pushed to the limit, a population will rise. Russia has erupted, and the reverberations of this eruption will echo for a long time to come. Thank you for watching Frontline Report. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others so that more people can stay informed about these unfolding developments. We will continue to follow this story closely and bring you the latest updates as they happen, because the voices in the streets of Russia today are shaping the headlines of tomorrow.